everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's tutorial is to show you how to do this beautiful puff V stitch. It's really simple to do, and it's beginner friendly. It does use quite a bit of yarn, so be aware of that because of the puff stitches, but it works up super quick and it's a really easy pattern repeat. It's just really lovely. It's a lovely project to do if you're a beginner. I've used Stylecraft Special DK, and I've just used these two colours for the purpose of the sample to show you. So, and for this sample piece I used a 5mm hook. So what we'll do, if you grab your hook and some yarn, we'll get started. So you start with a simple slip knot, and this pattern is a multiple of chaining a multiple of 4. So for this sample piece here, I've chained 28, and then it's plus 2 chains at the end, so a multiple of 4, so however long you want to make it. So if you're making a scarf, for instance, probably 28 is a good width for a scarf, but just plus 2 on the end. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'll chain 28 just so it shows you, it gives you a nice width to work towards. Chain 28. Right, okay, so we've got 28 plus 2, and what we're going to do now, so that you're not starting your puff stitch into these chains here, it's better if you just put a double crochet, work your way back along. So you double crochet into the second chain from the hook. That's just a yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and do that all the way back along to the end of the row, and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so you're at the end of the row here. So we've done a double crochet into your foundation chain. Don't worry about it being curly, that's perfectly normal. And what you're going to do now is you're just going to turn your work, so you don't need to chain anything, just turn your work. And what we're going to do is you're going to put a treble into this very first stitch here. So that's yarn over, insert your hook, make sure you've got the both V's on the hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and what you're going to do now is you're going to skip 3. So 1, 2, 3. So in the 4th chain, this is where you're going to work your first puff stitch. So that's yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. Pull it up nice and tall and leave it there. Yarn over into exactly the same space, pull your yarn through and pull up a loop. And do that 2 more times. Remember to keep it nice and loose here. So you've got, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 9 loops on your hook now, and then you yarn over and you pull through all 9, chain 1 to secure it, and then chain 1 again, and that's just to separate the 2 puff stitches that you're going to do, because you're doing them into the same stitch. So work another puff stitch into the same stitch here, So yarn over, pull through, pull up a loop and leave it there, into the same stitch again, do another 2, and you've got 9 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 9 and just chain 1 to secure it, and that's your first puff stitch. So what we do now is you don't need to chain anything again now, you've just chained that 1 to secure it. So all you do now is you're going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to work your next set of puff stitches into this chain here. So insert your hook, pull up a loop nice and tall, 2, 3 and 4. That gives you 9 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 9 and chain 1. Chain 1 again to separate the 2 puff stitches that you're working in this same stitch, and work another puff stitch. 1, 2, 3 and 4, pull through all 9 and chain 1, and there's your second puff stitch. So do that all the way along to the end of the row. So the repeat is a puff stitch, chain 1 to secure, chain 1 to separate the 2 puff stitches, another puff stitch into this very same stitch here, chain 1 to secure, skip 3 stitches and then work your next set of puff stitches, and do that all the way along, and I'll meet you back here to show you how to get onto the next row. Okay, so we're at the end of the row here and you have 4 stitches left. So following on with the pattern, you skip 3. In the very last stitch, all you're going to do is work a treble, and that's just to keep your edges nice and straight. Okay, and you just then turn your work. Now what I will do actually, following on from this sample, is I'll just do a colour change, so I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just going to undo that last stitch. So I'm working the last part of the treble here, so normally you would just yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. So all you do is you bring your new colour in, wrap it round your hook as if that's your other yarn, and then just pull it through. And then all you need to do is just snip your yarn from your old colour and just tie it, just give it a little tie it into just a little knot just to secure it. Don't pull it too tight. And there's your new colour, and then just turn your work, and then we're on to the next row. So all we do with this one, it's a really easy pattern to repeat, is you treble into the first stitch here, this stitch. So just make a treble in that stitch there, and then what you're going to do here is you are going to work into the middle of each of these puff stitches now. So not this space here, it's in the middle of the actual puff stitch that you made on your previous row. So all we do is insert your hook into the middle, pull up a loop, 2, 3 and 4, pull through all 9 loops, chain 1 to secure that puff stitch, chain another one to separate the 2 puff stitches that you're working into this same space here, make another puff stitch, 1, 2, 3 and 4, pull through all 9 and chain 1 to secure, and there's your first puff stitch on top. And then you work all the way along by just working into the middle of these puff stitches all the way along. I'll do another one with you. 1, 2, 3 and 4, pull through all 9, chain 1 to secure it, chain 1 just to separate the next puff stitch that you're going to work into this space, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and chain 1, and it's as simple as that. So meet me at the end of the row here and we'll just talk about the pattern repeat. Okay, so we're at the end of the row here. We've worked all the puff stitches and we've got this treble stitch at the end here. So all you do is you work a treble into the top of this stitch here, so you can see the top of it there. So just work a treble into the top just to keep your side or your edge nice and straight, and then you would just turn your work. Now at this point, if you wanted to change your colour you could do, but as with this sample piece I've worked 2 rows of the cream and then I've gone back to the teal. So you would just, now you'd just carry on as before, where you do a treble into this very first stitch, and then you begin again with your puff stitch working into the centre of each stitch. Okay. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching. See you next time.